Okay, sounds great. Hi, everybody. Welcome to KRC's Know Your Rights workshop. My name is Ria. My pronouns are she, her, and I am an IRP fellow supporting the Voices for Tomorrow interns who are presenting this Know Your Rights workshop today. Thank you for spending your Wednesday evening with us. I know that it's around dinner time. Sorry? I think, Efren? Oh, thank you. So it's around dinner time, so I understand. If you're hungry, have some food with you, have a drink with you, and enjoy this workshop with us. A little bit about the presentation today. It'll be about Know Your Rights. So it'll be about the constitutional rights that everyone has when living in the United States. And our interns have put in a lot of work to combine and put together this information for you all. And so to introduce our interns, we have Pam and we also have Kevin. They will introduce themselves as well, but please give them all your attention and to also give them all your support. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin the Know Your Rights workshop. I will be sharing the PowerPoint with you all, but before that, there is a worksheet that I will put in the chat, and you can use this worksheet to follow along and to also write down any notes that you may have while you're watching the presentation. Okay, just wanted to see if everything is good.
Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to our presentation about knowing your rights and knowing your rights, what your rights are as citizens and non-citizens of this country. A little bit about myself is that I am currently a senior at Anaheim High School, which I will be graduating in May. And I am extremely indecisive of where I will continue to go after for school, whether it's San Fran State, Cal Poly, or Fullerton College. I'm still remaining extremely optimistic of that wherever I go, and whatever my choice decides to be, I will continue to make a great impact and contribute to giving back to my community.
And hi everyone, my name is Kevin. You can use they them pronouns with me. I'm a social media intern for the Voice of Tomorrow with the Korean Research Center. I'm also an immigrants' rights advocate and a junior at Cal Poly Pomona. So before we get started, I do wanted us to go over some community agreements, which are one mic, raise your hand if you have any questions. Try to keep your questions if you have burning questions at the end of the presentation, and we will respectfully go in order, and then try to respect each other also whilst you are speaking. One last thing we do want to emphasize is that we are providing general information. That it means that we are not qualified lawyers to give you specific information about any specific case. This is more for general information purposes, so do keep that in mind.
Okay, for our agenda for your Know Your Rights workshop, it will begin with an icebreaker, continuing with constitutional rights for all citizens and non-citizens, following up with the true and false question activity, and moving forward with a discussion / question and scenarios. And towards the end, we will give you guys resources and hotlines you guys can have access to. So to begin with our icebreaker, does anyone know how would you describe the phrase "know your rights"? Feel free to unmute or type it in the box in the chat. I mean.
So we have Eric who said what we can do. I don't know if you, Eric, you would like to emphasize or explain a little bit more on your response.
Yes, yeah, I was thinking in terms of know your rights. Maybe I was thinking in terms of like what we're allowed to do or what we're not allowed to do. I think that was something that I was thinking of.
Yeah, definitely. I've always thought also of rights as rights of and rights from. So your rights to from a specific law and your rights of a specific law. Anyone else wants to chime in? Oh, and we have also Gabriel, and it says, "What are my human rights as a person?" Yes, you're totally right. We have rights that are protected under the Constitution of the United States. Great responses. Anyone else would like to add anything?
I just want to add, as humans, also there's animal rights. So I'm um, just pretty much like all living things have rights, even plants and other different species have rights.
Yes, I think there is protections also for animals, which is protection from mistreatment. And if definitely if you happen to have an animal and you're mistreating them, there are laws to protect all living things as well. So I guess, oh, we have also Ria. So all living things have rights. Yes, protection. That's the key word. Thank you, Eric. Would you like, if anyone else would like to add, or if not, we can move forward. Just let us know.
Okay, so now that I think no one else would like to add, we can move forward with the Fourth Amendment, which the Fourth Amendment is to the United States Constitution prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures and requires any search warrant to be judicial, sanctioned, and supported by probable cause. It is part of the Bill of Rights. Basically, it's your right to deny unreasonable searches and seizures, like I mentioned, and constitutional right to protect you with warrant searches. The Fourth Amendment establishes the right against unreasonable searches, and it's basically to protect your own privacy against, like I mentioned, unreasonable searches. For example, if a police officers knock on your door, ask for an identification and warrant before opening the door. Officers can only inspect the areas and items on the warrant, make sure to remain silent and take note of what they do, where they go, and what they take. As for the warrant, check out the warrant and look at the top at the signature line to see if it is issued by a court and signed by a judge. Only a court/judge warrant grants ICE permission to enter your premises. One issued by DHS or ICE and signed by a DHS or ICE employee does not qualify. There's a difference between an arrest and search warrant, which if it's a search warrant, make sure it is for your address, and if not, you don't have to open. If it's an arrest warrant, make sure it is for someone who lives at your address. If not, you do not have to open. And if ICE has a search warrant signed by a judge, make sure the warrant has the correct address for your workplace. Review the warrant to see what the areas and items ICE is authorized to search. ICE is not authorized to search areas or inspect items that are not described in the warrant. Here is a clip what to do in order if ICE agents show up at your doorstep.
It was 5:30 a.m. when ICE came to Esther's apartment. ICE stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The agents lied to Esther, saying they were police officers investigating a crime and her husband, Alexei, was a potential witness. "Is Alexei home?" they asked innocently. Now Esther's gut told her she should cooperate, but she remembered something she'd heard on the radio. ICE had been making early morning sweeps using tricks like this to get people to open their doors. Esther remembered she had rights. ICE may try similar tricks at your home. They may say they're looking for a friend, relative, or roommate. But do not be fooled, and do not open the door. Instead, remain calm and be polite. Tell the agents that you'd like to see a warrant and their ID. Ask them to slip these documents under the door or hold them up to the peephole. Without a warrant signed by a judge, ICE is not allowed to enter or search your home. ICE usually won't have a warrant, but they may lie and say they do, or show you something else that looks official. So look carefully and take pictures of whatever they show you. If they refuse to share any of these documents, then ask them for their card and contact information. Do not show the agents anything or say anything except, "I do not consent for you to enter my home. I do not want to talk to you without a lawyer present. Please leave." Now, ICE won't always listen to you and may enter your home using force. But saying these things might help you in court, even if the agents don't listen. The other videos in this series will help you understand your rights if ICE enters your home or arrests you. Esther and Alexei knew their rights, and the officers left. This is all scary, but remember, we have rights. After an encounter with ICE, take notes about what happened, writing down as many details as you can remember. This information might be helpful in future immigration proceedings. It's important that you and your loved ones are prepared for encounters with ICE, and that you have a plan for what to do if one of you is arrested, including information about who to call. If ICE comes to your home, remember, you have rights. Do not open the door. Ask to see a warrant signed by a judge. Tell them you do not consent to them being at your home. Please leave. If a loved one is arrested, you should be able to locate them at locator.ice.gov.
Okay, so thank you. That being said, if you are detained by ICE, you have the right to an immigration attorney and you may have the ability to fight your case. To preserve this right, do not sign anything without speaking to an attorney and do not consent to anything else.
So now we're moving into the Fifth Amendment, and I would like to start with the Miranda rights. I know maybe perhaps some of you have heard the phrase, "You have the right to remain silent." Anything that you said will and could be used against you in court. So Miranda was an individual who was charged in Arizona. The case goes back many years ago, but the officers who detained Miranda did not read him his rights. So whenever you are detained, the police enforcement has to read you those rights. If they do not do that, they are violating your right, because as it's explained, you have the right to not self-incriminate. So that means that you have the right to not be your own witness. So that means you have the right to remain silent and protected at all times before and awaiting due process. Also, you have the right to refuse seizures and of your belongings without any warrant, similarly to what Pamela explained earlier. And you also, like I said before, do not have to answer any questions, and always try to remain silent. It is the best thing to do. Can we get to the next slide, please? And then in case of an arrest, when getting pulled over by the law enforcement, one of the first things you have to do is provide your information, any documentation regarding your card. It's always very useful. And do not disclose your citizenship status. Usually the enforcement do not need to know your citizenship status. And also you do not have to disclose it until you have an immigration attorney present with you. Another thing that I want to point out is do not carry with you any fake paperwork, because that could also be used against you, and do not show it to law enforcement at any time, because as I said before, it could be used against you as well. Some things that you can do whilst if you are arrested is often is ask for a call. You are entitled and are given the right to a call. Do keep in mind, however, that any conversation with a family member may be heard by the police enforcement or the law enforcement, and conversations between lawyers and their clients are always confidential. Always keep in mind, do not sign anything given to you by anyone until you are in the presence of a lawyer who can explain to you exactly what it is. And if you do not understand it, it should also be provided in your language with your attorney. And now we're gonna go over a quick video. I do want to apologize. The captions don't work. So if you understand anything, I do apologize and I'm so sorry for that. It's a little bit old, but it does bring in a lot of important information. So just try to keep a good eye out and see what to do in different scenarios. ¿Entiendes? Español, tú no entiendes. Tú eres china. Las chinas no hablan español.
Ay, no seas grosero conmigo.
A mí nos tocan los tacos, güey. No, güey, quiero una torta.
Immigration and Custom Enforcement, please have your identification ready. Papeles, por favor.
No, no corras, güey. Quédate ahí sentado. Hey, Diego.
Don't run, sir. Stop like that! Run, stay where you are!
In every language, we hope you're having a wonderful morning listening to Radio Tidla in your car, at home, or at work.
Yeah, but nowadays people are scared to go to work.
Brothers and sisters, no matter where you are from, this is your home now, and nobody should be afraid to be at home.
Especially when you're actually at your house. Could you believe all these raids, Fuerza? Coming into people's homes in the middle of the night or early in the morning.
I wish they would come to my house without a warrant.
My door stays closed unless they have a warrant signed by a judge with my name on it.
Unless it's a search warrant, right? Because then they only need the address to search.
But if they're looking for me, the warrant's gotta have my name on it.
I heard that. Mi gente, sepan sus derechos.
Know your rights, people. Know your rights.
Hola, mijo. Buenos días. ¿Cómo amaneciste?
Muy bien, Erika. Buenos días.
Buenos días. Bien, también, gracias a Dios. ¿Un cafecito?
Sí, por favor.
Ok. Claro que sí. ¿Quién?
Immigration Customs Enforcement, open the door.
Pregúntale si tienen una orden de arresto.
¿Qué?
Firmada por un juez. No vayas a abrir la puerta, estaban hablando de esto en el radio.
¿Tienen una orden de arresto?
Abra la puerta, solo le queremos hacer unas preguntas.
Si no tienen una orden de arresto, no voy a abrir la puerta.
We just need you to sign these papers as proof that we were here. I'm gonna slide them under the door.
Firme las últimas 2 páginas donde está indicado.
No vayas a firmar nada. Puede ser una orden de deportación.
No voy a firmar nada si no sé exactamente de qué se trata.
That's right. Stay calm, stay aware.
And remember, everyone has a right to remain silent.
License, registration, and proof of insurance, please.
Okay, I'm getting the registration.
Driver's license and proof of insurance, please. I need to see your driver's license. What is your name, miss? I'm asking you a question.
Do I need to answer you?
You need to tell me your name.
Ming Liang.
Step out of the vehicle, please. Stand right over here. Where were you born?
没关系，慢慢来，呼吸，不用讲话，会好。
Do you have a green card?
I will not answer that. I want to speak to a lawyer.
I'm going to impound your car. Your court date is here on your citation. You're free to go.
So the local police can't ask you where you're from or what your immigration status is?
Cops can ask you anything they want, but whatever you say can be used against you.
Come on, let's go. Come on, move. Move. You over here. You. Yeah. Stand right there. Yeah. Over here. Come on. Stand right there.
It's okay to say your name, Fuerza. Just don't say anything else.
Where were you born?
Korea.
Did you arrive in this country illegally?
¿Cuál es su nombre?
Lucía.
¿Y cómo entró a los Estados Unidos? ¿Entró ilegalmente?
Sí. Por favor, señor, no me arreste. ¿Quién va a cuidar de mis niños? Tengo un niño chiquito que le estoy dando de mamar. Se va a morir de hambre.
What's your name? Your name.
Le estoy dando esa tarjeta porque no deseo hablar o tener más contacto con usted. Yo elijo ejercer mi derecho de mantenerme callado y me niego a contestar sus preguntas. Si me arresta, seguiré ejerciendo mi derecho a mantenerme callado y a negarme a contestar sus preguntas. Quiero hablar con un abogado antes de contestar cualquier pregunta.
People, you have to have a plan. If you are arrested, you need to have a plan.
Talk to your neighbors, your friends, your family about what they should do in case you are detained.
Think of your children or even your parents. Who will take care of them if you are not there? Lucas, ready to run it down for the people?
Sure. Remember, we all have rights whether we are undocumented or not. If immigration authorities come to your home, the important things to remember are: do not let anyone in unless they have a warrant, an arrest warrant with the name of the person they are looking for signed by a judge, or a search warrant with a specific address also signed by a judge. Do not sign any documents.
If you're pulled over, remember, local police should not be enforcing immigration laws. Also, you are not required to give any information on where you were born or how you entered the U.S.
At the workplace, if there's a raid, remember, don't run. Stay where you are. Always carry a number of a lawyer in case you are taken into custody, and never present false documents to any official, police, or immigration. In fact, do not carry false documents around.
And what's most important?
Stay calm, keep quiet. If they ask for your name, you have to say it. But whatever else you say to defend yourself can get you deported. Remember, know your rights, and always have a plan in case of an emergency.
We have a constitutional right to remain silent, organize, and fight for change.
For more information, log into our website www.chirla.org or call our hotline at 1-888-6-CHIRLA.
So I'm gonna go ahead and go over the Sixth Amendment, and I hope you like the last video. It's very informative. So the Sixth Amendment is the right to public trial, which means that it is the right for you to have due process, and it is the right for you to go to basically to have an impartial jury, and for your case to be heard by a judge. And you have also the right to know the nature of the accusation, this being what you are being charged with, and this is only in case you have already been arrested and you are awaiting for trial. And also you have the right for counsel or assistance. These will come in form of your lawyers and or any immigration knowledgeable individual. I think we can move forward.
Okay, so now to our true or false activity. I hope that you guys were able to take some knowledge over the brief overview that we did go over the Fourth, Fifth, and Sixth Amendments. If you guys would like to unmute for these questions, then feel free to do so. You can also use the chat. And I'm going to start with, if you cannot afford a lawyer, you must represent yourself. Is that true or false? Okay, definitely that is false. Like I mentioned, like Kevin mentioned, I mean, you do have the right to a lawyer and an attorney. Moving on to the second question, the Sixth Amendment states you have the right to a speedy trial. True or false? My fault. Actually, that is true. The Sixth Amendment allows you to have the right to a due trial in court. And then moving along with the third question, it's the Fifth Amendment prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures. True or false? Yes, thank you, Eric. It is the Fourth Amendment, not the Fifth. And moving along to the last question, it would be the police need a probable cause to obtain a warrant, and the warrant must be specific about what is being searched. Yes, that is definitely true. Like I mentioned in the Fourth Amendment, that you do, the police or any law enforcement does need a warrant signed and issued by a judge, and it also must have the policy of what items they will be searching for. That being said, in order to practice these amendments, feel free to have access to these red cards, which all people in the United States, regardless of immigration status, have certain rights and protection under the US Constitution. The ILRC's red cards help people assert their rights and defend themselves in many situations, such as ICE agents go to a home when they go to a home. And Ria, can we go to this? Okay, thank you. And then as far as resources, in order to have them automatically, just make sure to download the Mobile Justice app. And it is an app to record interactions with law enforcement and immigration officials and have know your rights information at your fingertips.
By the way, the links are also in the chat. So there's also the local rapid response hotline. The information is also on the slides. So feel free to either take a screenshot or try to look on them on the internet. They're actually available. We also have CHIRLA, which is a nonprofit organization that works with basically with immigration rights. They provide different services such as DACA renewals, and now they're also helping with first-time applicants with their DACA applications. They're also a very well-known nonprofit organization that has gone well beyond what we have known. They have been at the forefront of advocacy for a very long time, and it's a great opportunity. So definitely do check out their information. The links are all on the chat.
That being said, if you guys do have any questions, feel free to unmute or use the chat to ask us. We will be answering any questions or concerns you guys may have. Thank you all for coming. My contact is right there. It's PamelaP0333@gmail.com, where you can contact me.
And you could also find my information there at kpalomot.629@gmail.com. We will receive any questions that you might have. So thank you very much for joining. And if you have any questions, we're open for a Q&A right now.
This Know Your Rights workshop for all of us today. Also keep in mind that they had to crunch their time to put this workshop together. It's only been a few weeks since we've all have known each other as Voices for Tomorrow interns. Oh, I don't know which one it is, but just to, you know, tie it all in, this Know Your Rights presentation with Sanctuary for All. Sanctuary by definition is a safe place and a refuge. And hopefully through this Know Your Rights workshop and knowing your rights, us who are people who reside in this country can feel safe and can call the US a safe refuge for all of us who are immigrants, who are undocumented, who are citizens, anyone who calls the US their home. So remember to, I feel like a YouTuber, I don't know which side it is, but Sanctuary for All, please use that campaign. The Voices for Tomorrow interns will be continuing this workshop and this campaign throughout all the other workshops. Yes. So if there are any questions or any comments that you would like to say, please put them in the chat below. This is the perfect time to open up a discussion about the workshop that we had today. Thank you again.
Hello, guys.
Thank you so much, everyone, for contributing and for also giving us your time this Wednesday evening. Please give a round of applause again for our interns, Pam and Kevin. They have put in so much work and have done a great job presenting for everyone today. So thank you. Our presentation today is hosted by the Korean Resource Center. It is an organization that has many services, but is also an advocate for immigrant rights. If you would like to know more about the services that this organization offers, we'd like you to visit our website, which is krcla.org. And there you may find out about the different services that they offer and also programs like VFT that you can probably get involved in. We love bringing people around. So in addition to this workshop, there are other workshops that are happening. On Monday, we have a resume and cover letter workshop coming up. It's on Monday, the 12th at 5 p.m. I'm sure there will be a post coming up soon on Instagram talking about how to access that workshop as well. But thank you everyone for coming again. We hope you have a lovely Wednesday evening.
Bye. I just want to add one more thing.